Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So DJ Peter Vass here on Twitter posting this: 200 million customers. Wow, that's a lot of customers. Axis Bank is a Ripple partner, for those of you guys who did not know, and they have selected Amazon Web Services to accelerate their digital transformation. Here is a quote: "Cloud is transforming the financial industry, and we are delighted to help Axis Bank build and grow a suite of digital banking services that evolve with technology changes, introduce new payment modes, and support evolving customer and business needs in India." This coming from Puneet Chandok, who is the president of Commercial Bank AWS India and South Asia, AISPL. The bank has over 800 people for digital projects and also an engineering and design team of 130 people. Axis Bank has over 200 million customers who increasingly demand new and innovative digital banking services, including digital deposits, digital loans, and digital credit cards to better manage their finances as per an AWS statement. And guys, Axis Bank, of course, 200 million customers. We are talking about India here, which has a population of over 1.3 billion. So 200 million customers does sound like a lot, but still just about 15% of the Indian population. Huge bank, though, that is a Ripple partner. DJ Peter Vass just posting some supporting material just to that effect. Axis Bank launches Ripple-powered instant payment services for retail and corporate customers. This again happened back in 2017. So great news there coming out of India. I wanted to also mention this, guys, from XRP Crypto. Wolf Bank of France carries out 5th CBDC settlement experiment with BNP Paribas and Euroclear. A representative from the Bank of France said this experiment made it possible to test the integration of issuance and settlement activities, including exchanges on the secondary market. These are experiments, guys. This is their 5th experiment with central bank digital currencies. In an announcement Monday, the bank said the experiment was conducted with the European blockchain firm LiquidShare and involved the issuance and settlement of both unlisted and listed securities using blockchain technology. Other organizations involved in the experiment include all these different companies. This experiment made it possible to test the integration of issuance and settlement activities, including exchanges on the secondary market. This coming from the Bank of France. In June, the bank announced a new CBDC experiment with the Swiss National Bank, dubbed Project Jura, involving a bank-to-bank wholesale lending market, not public transactions. And the Bank of France said its other experiments are ongoing, and all the lessons learned will play an important part of its analysis of the benefits of CBDC. So the Bank of France continuing to do more experiments on CBDC and cross-border transfers in different kinds of scenarios. Now, nowhere is it mentioned here that they are utilizing exclusively the XRPL blockchain. However, guys, I do want to remind you they were doing this in conjunction with BNP Paribas, who is indeed a Ripple partner. This article was just dating back from January of 2020. They were already partnered by then, but just demonstrating that Ripple partner BNP Paribas to launch EFX trading engine in Singapore. So we know these guys are indeed a Ripple partner. And also, guys, I want to remind you this, and I know a lot of you guys already know this. This was back a few months ago now, from March of 2021. The Bank of France did actually state, and it was reported in this document prepared by the CPA of Australia. They did state this: the report speaks of Ripple as an alternative platform to Ethereum, and XRP is a coin that runs on its own ledger, stating that Ripple does not operate on a blockchain network per se, but has its own ledger for performing transactions, presumably the XRPL. The authors have also mentioned that Ripple is trusted by multiple banks as a model for CBDCs due to its high centralization, which this part I disagree with. Nevertheless, they do have that private ledger function, so perhaps that could be seen as a centralized function. Ripple and XRP enjoy the trust of many banks as a model for CBDCs because it is highly centralized and is based on a permissioned network where only certain network nodes can validate transactions, as opposed to decentralized and permissionless Bitcoin and Ether. The document also stated that the Central Bank of France has already discussed XRP and Ripple as a potential platform for making the digital euro. France's central bank, the Banque de France, has openly discussed Ripple and XRP as a possible platform for Europe's central digital currency. So this was happening several months ago, and now we are seeing that the Bank of France is continuing to carry out their experiments, their 5th with CBDCs, with Ripple partner BNP Paribas and Euroclear. Who knows what those results will be? It is still ongoing. Wanted to thank XRP Crypto Wolf for pointing that out. And guys, this was brought to my attention by XRP Captain 590 here on Twitter at Universe20. Did you guys hear this clip from Dan Pena, the Black Swan event? Something that you might want to be paying attention to, because this is going to affect everybody. Listen to this.
I'm announcing today, I'm putting my ass on the line. I I'm telling you, there is a black swan event coming. A black swan event coming. I don't know if we're going to war with Putin. I don't know if another corona is going to come out that is not curable.
A corona.
I don't know whether the Federal Reserve is going to finally implode. I don't know what it is, but it's coming. Because every massive bull market needs to find an excuse to correct. And even though we had a recession that only lasted 70 days or 80 days or whatever it was, last year, the market is way over valued. Excuse me. And the big smart money, if you follow it, which you don't, 95% of them have all taken money off the table.
So 95% of the smart money taking money off the table. Dan Pena warning us of a black swan event. Okay, is this going to affect cryptocurrency? Am I safeguarded because I hold one of the best digital assets there is out there? Is my other cryptocurrency going to be affected? Are my stocks going to be affected? We got to look at all this, guys, and unpack it as best we can. Well, Dan Pena, for those of you guys who do not know, he began his financial career on Wall Street. He went to become president of Great Western Resources, Inc., a Houston-based oil company listed on the London Stock Exchange in 1984. And this guy is self-touted as being successful for over 7 decades. Now, whether you believe him or not, he also has a bit of a foul mouth. If you guys have seen some videos of him, he thinks Bitcoin is controlled by the Russians, and he thinks that, he has said publicly on the record that he thinks Bitcoin will eventually go to zero one day. So, take it for what you will. Some factors I wanted to point out, though, aside from this, is, this rush to kind of move to this new financial system. Central banks scramble to catch the digital currency train. This from DJ Peter Vass. And, every day I do a video and it seems like there are more central banks or more governments that want to adopt CBDCs or that are trialing CBDCs. Even just a few minutes ago, I was talking about the Central Bank of France continuing to conduct experiments to better understand CBDCs, and they are on their 5th one. So the mainstream of digital currencies is accelerating. Not a week goes by without the launch of another private cryptocurrency or stablecoin, or another country or group of countries announcing their entry into the fray. No one wants to be left behind, and most central banks are concerned about how to move into the new financial world. Central bank digital currencies got the ultimate boost recently when the Bank for International Settlements made it clear in its annual economic report that it is throwing its weight firmly behind CBDCs as a counterweight to a supposed twin evil of big tech and Bitcoin. So it's kind of an us versus them mentality. It's also unconvinced by stablecoin, which it believes has the potential to fragment the liquidity of the monetary system. The BIS accuses big tech of anti-competitive behavior and Bitcoin of being speculative rather than money, with a wasteful energy footprint that has facilitated money laundering, ransomware attacks, and other financial crimes. This article goes on, guys. I will leave it in the description of this video. We are looking at a new financial framework. There are cryptocurrencies that are going to be on the right side of history, and there are other cryptocurrencies that are just going to disappear. As Brad Garlinghouse has said in the past, 99% of cryptocurrencies have no utility. If it solves a problem, chances are you will find value in it. Chances are people will utilize it, especially if it solves that problem better than its competitor. And so, even outlined in that World Economic Forum document, I'll see if I can find the video I did about that. I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner. They outlined a handful of cryptocurrencies that they see useful, including XRP, Solana, Algorand, and XLM were amongst a few of them that were in that report. But back to my point here, these guys have a vision and they know where they're moving. The market is hyperinflated, and will we see a black swan event? Now, I will put that term in quotes even, black swan event, because, we have to question to ourselves, could a black swan event perhaps be coordinated? You can't say you haven't thought about the possibilities, could you? So the financial system currently being rebuilt. We know at this point in time, everything is looking quite precarious, and, this system is said to be put in place to help protect our identity, to help protect our security, and to help money flow a lot more seamlessly across borders. So on the one hand here, for XRP hodlers, this is a great thing. If you are invested in XRP or some other cryptocurrencies that will solve a problem, that are going to be utilized and integrated into this new financial system. But then we have Dan Pena saying, there is a Black Swan event looming. And I mean, how could he really know this? Well, this clip was posted on his YouTube page just yesterday, July 5th, and it was from a seminar that he did back in June. Now, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole too much, but I did think for you XRP hodlers, it was necessary to bring this up as well. Guys, this coming from Enigma, and these tweets were from January of 2021, so months before Dan Pena's seminar. Well, 3 last drops, Black Swans, if they are related to the event to which the silent drops point at, we can suggest a negative, but part of the plan, variation similar to what happened with Bearable Guy 123 Silence Countdown, being now a Black Swan event. So this is with regards to some Mr. Pool tweets that he dropped back in January of this year, January 2021, of course, all depicting black swans in this tweet photo collage here. That was from January 2021. And then down here, just wanted to also mention Enigma posting Mr. Pool's tweet. We already had Black Swans drop in June of 2020. I'm not inclined to interpret this as a negative, but today I have no choice. Let's see the possibilities we have in mind and the fact that nothing has happened yet. So, some may think that, these guys, these riddlers on Twitter are just kind of throwing darts at a dartboard and hoping to get a bullseye at some point. Now, let's just go back to this for a second. This Mr. Pool tweet, the original one, was posted on June 27th, 2020. Well, that was before the SEC lawsuit was announced, and I think it's safe to say that the SEC lawsuit would be considered one of those Black Swan events. Now, this latest Black Swan post, again, it was from 6 months ago, but it was from January 27th, 2021, and I mean, we still haven't seen anything that would be considered a Black Swan event, at least not yet. But the one from June 2020, that was about 6 months before the SEC announced the lawsuit. And now we have another one, January 2021. 6 months later, Dan Pena also says there's going to be a Black Swan event. So is there something important that we have to pay attention to here? We also know the timing of markets is not very easy to predict, right? We say that all the time. How many months, how many weeks, how many days till my XRP moons? And that is always the most difficult thing. The time is the most difficult thing to predict. Always, no matter what market it is. I think the most interesting fact here is that they are particularly depicting the classic Black Swan. And again, I'll just go over this real quick for those of you guys who do not know what a Black Swan event is. It is an extremely rare event with severe consequences. It cannot be predicted beforehand, though after the fact, many false claim it should have been predictable. So, it is something like a pandemic. How could we have predicted that this would shut down markets? The markets would correct. And, even though we were faced with a Black Swan event, guys, this is the S&P 500 on the weekly. Just going to zoom in here to that point in time that everything just shut down. This huge correction here was the point at which markets shut down around the world. All markets were affected, including cryptocurrency. That was about a 36% correction. And, Dan Pena is realizing and noticing that ever since then, the market has just rallied continuously, overinflated. And I've talked about this on this channel as well, the fact that this, guys, is all an illusion. This is all a mirage. And the reason I say that is because, since this pandemic, economies locked down, many people were out of work. Some people were at home, decided, hey, what can I do to make some money? And, there were a lot of people that took to day trading. I know I've told this story on my channel before real quick. When I called my stockbroker and they put me on hold, I had never had to hold more than about 10, 15 minutes in the past. But when I called them for the first time after the pandemic, I was on hold for 2.5 hours. And the reason was because they were in the process of hiring more customer service agents. And they said, the lady that I got on the phone once somebody had responded to my call said, yeah, it's been like this since the lockdown. So that to me just speaks volumes. The fact that so many people interested in day trading, especially with, Wall Street Bets, the Robinhood app, more people are getting into this. And so, we hadn't seen this kind of excitement over here. Because over here there was no pandemic. Now we are seeing an overinflated market, and so the question is, what will make it come crashing down? Because, you know, Dan Pena says, and I believe it, we can't go on like this forever. There is going to be a time where we see a correction. What is that going to be? He seems to think it's a black swan event. Mr. Poole thinks it's going to be a black swan event. And how close are we to that black swan event? So guys, I'm going to zoom out here on the S&P 500. As you guys can see, you know, markets do ebb and flow, and they have over time. This was the dot-com bubble back in the early 2000s. This was the financial crisis in 2008, 2009. And from there, we've only really seen a bull market from about 2009 onward. But I want to show you guys something, you know, from that last major crash, 2008, 2009. I'm going to throw a Fibonacci here on the chart, bring it all the way down to the bottom of the market, top up here. And guys, if I bring it over right up here, what does that look like to you? Take a look up here, guys. A full 4.236 Fibonacci extension, almost reaching the top of the S&P 500. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, let me throw Fibonacci on there just to kind of show you guys where we are right now on here. So these are stock markets, and you know, if we take the last crash, 2008, 2009, we are hugging the 3.618 right now on the Dow Jones. One more level to go for the 4.236. So is a black swan event imminent? Could it be something real that we least expect? Or will it be conveniently coincidental? Tell me down in the comments what you guys think. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.